Hello, my fellow creatives. I hope you're doing well. This is a very long overdue video that I've been meaning to put together for all of you. And our buddy Phil Fine was just talking to me about video, and I decided to make this very quick. This is very, very quick. I want to show you how you can create video, video loops for your music. Step one. Use Sora. As you can see here, I use Sora a lot. And you can use any photo or concept. You can see I pretty much use myself as a prompt. So you can describe your image, or you could just insert an image of yourself. Maybe there's an image that you have that you like. You can use that. So for example, let's just click on this. I got a really funny one here. Not that one. Okay, let's click on this. So assuming you wanted to generate an image along these lines, there's a few things you could do. You could right click, copy, put it in GPT and ask for a prompt, or you could just use that photo in Sora. You see, if you go to sora.chatgpt.com, that's a place you can begin. And all you need to do is paste your image like a control V straight into the chat box, just like that. Now let me move myself out of the way, make myself smaller so you can really see this good. Now when I put the photo in there, I could say, it could be anything, you know, it could be a DJ drinking a cup of coffee. Now, I could change the landscape to 1 by 1 or 2 by 3. I could choose how many images or versions I want to generate. Maybe I'll just say 2 versions, and I'm using the image as a prompt, and all I do is hit remix. Now Sora will add my prompt to the queue, and it's going to generate an image. It's going to generate an image that will be the beginning of my loop. See? So when it's done, it's probably going to take a few moments. But when it's done, the next stage is to go from Sora to Mid-Journey. Okay, just look at the top there for the address bar. I'm going to now show you Mid-Journey, Midjourney, Mid-Journey. All right, so while that's cooking, let me show you what Mid-Journey looks like. When you get to Mid-Journey, you're going to see this. These are all different works of art that people have created using Mid-Journey. For you to begin, you could click on create, and you could see what I have created in the past few minutes. You can see these loops. They're all created in Mid-Journey, but you should start off with a photo. Okay, start off with a photo. So as you can see, I've got all sorts of stuff I could use, but I really want you to see how I do it from scratch. So let's go back here. It's about 38% done. Still cooking. And you know what? While that cooks, I could just use this as an example. Let's take this one right here. Before that other one gets done cooking, I'm going to click copy image, and then I'm going back into Mid-Journey. When I get into Mid-Journey, I got to hit this add images on the left. Now this is paid. This isn't free. You got to pay for this, okay? I'm going to hit add images, and I am just going to I'm going to do a control V, and again, just paste the image I have. And I want you to look very carefully. Over here, we have loop. I'm just going to hit loop. And that shows the infinity sign, meaning this is going to loop on and on. But I need to give it a prompt for what I want to happen. So I'll say a DJ flexes outside the studio. with his buddies. Smiling for the camera. So you give it a prompt that goes in line with the image and will generate something meaningful. And then you just click send and it submits it and it begins to craft whatever you are looking for. It's that simple. So it'll show you the percent complete. Just hang tight and it's going to get done. Okay, so as I'm going through this, if you got any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll be answering the questions as they come. But that's pretty much it. All you need is Midjourney and Sora. Midjourney and Sora. And then in the settings, you could choose you could choose to make it, you know, weird, more weird. You got all these potential things you could use: portrait, square, landscape, the regular suspects for anyone who is remotely art inclined. If you're on social media, you know what all these things are. And then you got backsides. I normally use one so I don't waste all my credits. And all of these other options become available depending on what your plan is. But there it is. It's done. So it's absolutely ridiculous, but that's it. And it's a loop. It just keeps looping on and on and on. That's how you do these things. So let's go back to where we were in the beginning. In the very beginning, I was showing you how to create an image. So this is an image right here. This is another image. So to get rolling with this, you can just right click and save, or you can just copy the image directly and go again straight into Midjourney. So back into Midjourney and a new prompt. In fact, I could just Control V, right? Control V it like that if I wanted to use it for my video, and then just hit the video icon, loop, and then I could say a DJ listens to music and drinks coffee happily. Enter, and that's it. Now, I'm showing you Midjourney because Midjourney is the only tool that I have found almost 100% success in making the loop. So this could just loop all night long, right? Any of these will just loop all night long. The one of him drinking the coffee, the one I did a few days ago, which was for Sunday sessions, was just someone sitting down, drinking coffee, reading, drinking coffee, reading, on and on and on like that. So that's also another possibility. Okay, it seems like my computer is trying to catch up with me. I'm going far too quick. Yeah, so this one, this was another one I did, and she's just sitting down, holding a cup of coffee, reading, and it just loops on and on and on. So you could do things like that. And then going back to what we just did over here, there he is, he's just drinking his coffee. It looks like a bad version of Steve Harvey. Oh my goodness. It didn't get the memo of whose mouth was behind it, because that so does not look like your buddy Phil. Looks like someone from a bad movie. Okay, so that pretty much is it. That's how to do your loops. And another thing you could do, but don't say I didn't warn you, this is not the best tool to do video loops. But you can click on the prompt and you could opt for video right here in Sora. But be warned, it does not yield very good results. A lot of times it's just totally goofy chaos. So I think keeping it as short as possible is okay, but you could go up to as many as 10. It is not a loop. Even if you ask, make this a loop, it's not guaranteed to do so. And you just hit create video. And yeah, you can get video from Sora as well, but it's kind of like a toss-up. So while this cooks, let me go back to the beginning. So you got the explore page over here. And this will show you what other people have created. There are some pretty good creations. As you can see, a lot of look at this one. Oh my God. You got a lot of images. So some are very outrageous. Just look at that. Just so ridiculous. But you can also take a look at the videos that have been created. So you do images or video. So this is a video that was created in Sora, and it's just silly, but it's not too bad. But you have to be very patient. Now let me show you my video. Now, I mean, look how goofy that is. It just changed my video completely to a totally different random guy. This is even a little bit manageable, a little bit, but still it's so far off what you were looking for, you know. But you can go in there and take a look at what other people have done. Some of them are actually not bad, but some of them are just absolutely ridiculous. Look, and some are good. I don't want to bash Sora because it's been very helpful in the early days before Midjourney, but it's like a toss-up. I mean, look how tall she is compared to the basket. It's ridiculous. So anyway, I hope that gave you some insights as far as what you could build using Sora and using Midjourney. It was just to give you an example to set you up on your way. Remember, it is Midjourney, Midjourney, and just have a blast. You got to experiment, especially as you are creators. You don't want to be left behind with this wave. And there's so many other alternatives, but I think with these two, you can make some decent loops. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me. I wish you all the very best as you create. You take care. Bye for now. Any questions? I didn't see any questions. I'm going to assume there are none. Going once. Going twice. Okay, I think the chat is only for the members. So let me go ahead and turn that off just in case someone who is not a member has any questions. Let's see. Let's make it available to everyone. So let me just ask. Oh, isn't it? I'm glad you could join. Feel fine. Good. Well, thank you for inspiring this video. Thanks for the motivation. Even though you don't know that you motivated me, because I'm like, yeah, I meant to have done this. I meant to have put this out. Because I know we've got a lot of people on the channel, a lot of our members, a lot of our subscribers. They do this stuff and they don't know how to get the video part. The video part is always the missing link. But, you know, there's something else I meant to show you. I'm glad you said that, Phil Fine. Let me show you guys. There's a couple of tools that I didn't fully demonstrate. Let me see if I can bring those up. Okay. So right here, there's another cool tool. Actually, this tool, my goodness, I'm glad Phil Fine chatted in because I would have kicked myself for not showing you this. This is called Flow. And if you've heard of VO3, this is the best video tool for not only just creating loops, but also for sound and loops. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. So when you get into VO3, which is by Google, if you just Google VO3, Google DeepMind, it'll take you to the DeepMind page. And from the DeepMind page or labs.google/flow, you're going to come in here. And it gives you the option of doing text to video, or you could add ingredients to video, or you could do frames to video. The other cool thing is if you hit frames to video, you can see it allows you to create almost as it were a seamless one frame to the other kind of video. So if I hit plus and I look for any of these, let's say any of these videos of mine, let's see. Let's do this guy. Okay, so if I want it to go from here, that's me, to here, and I want the video to be a guy resting on a keyboard, holds it up and says, "Hi AI creatives, forget the trolls." Oh, I'm not even am I showing it? I'm sorry, what am I doing? Am I showing, can you see it? Okay, I'm hoping you can see it, otherwise what am I even doing? Okay, I hope you can see it. Just checking, just checking. Okay, all right. So you can put in this chat, a guy rests on the keyboard, holds it up and says, "Hi AI creatives, forget the trolls. Let's keep on trucking." All right, so if I put in that chat, I have the option of using VO2 or VO3. Now, if I use VO2, I'm going to use 10 credits. If I use VO3, I'm going to use 10 credits as well. Oh, that's not bad. Okay. If I use VO3 fast, the credits are generally more. I don't know if they've leveled the playing field of all these credits. Ah, okay. Well, let's go ahead and use VO3 fast. And you can see it says beta audio. Well, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Oh, frames to video isn't supported. I see. Okay. So I can't do that on VO3. I apologize. Let me go to VO2. And I'll still generate the video nonetheless, so you just see how it works. But it's going to do a loop. Now, you cannot do the loop on VO3. Duh, I should have remembered that. But you could do text to video. Let's see, let's go to VO3 to be doubly sure. VO3 fast. And let's see, frames to video, maybe ingredients to video. Yeah. So let me see if I can put myself back in there and put in that prompt again and see if that works. Huh. Oh, very odd. Maybe just frames to video. Okay. So frames to video would work, but you cannot put, it seems like you cannot put 2 frames. But anyway, here's the first video that I did. And honestly, it looks quite convincing. Isn't that crazy? I showed this to my kid and she shook her head on one of the videos. She said, "That's scary. It looks so much like you." So the first frame, it takes the first frame and it builds on that. So that's that. But taking it up a notch, we're going to see what VO3's craziness can do. Because VO3 can take an image and it can also add audio to it. It can take an image and add audio to it. Yes, hi Awakening Soul, how you doing? VO2 does, yes, it doesn't give audio. VO3 does. But if all else fails, I will show you how VO3 works if you have the $19.99 subscription, the monthly subscription. In fact, let me just get that ready. I'll show you how that works in a moment. Let's see if this did a good job. Okay, so I'm doing something else on VO3 on a different monitor. Let's see how this works and if there is audio with it. If there's audio with it, you'll be able to hear the audio. Turn that up.
Hi, A creatives. Forget the trolls. Let's keep on trucking. Hi, A creatives. Forget the trolls. Let's keep on trucking. Hi, A creatives.
Apart from the fact he doesn't have a British accent, it's a very good video. It's a very good video. But again, you know, this is the early stages. I'm sure you're going to be able to do voice cloning and all that good stuff in time to come. So, not bad.
Creatives. Forget the trolls. Let's keep on trucking.
And
hi, A creatives.
Let's see if I can show you the second one that I was cooking outside of here. I was cooking a second one, and I'll bring that over here. So this was created in VO3, but within Gemini. So let's watch.
Hi, A creatives. Forget the trolls. Let's keep on trucking. Hi, A creatives. Forget the trolls. Let's keep on trucking.
Kind of funny, but there you have it.
Hi, A creatives. Forget the trolls. Let's keep on trucking.
All right, that's enough of that. Let's quiet him.
Hi.
Okay. So there you have it. You have VO3, you have VO2, you have Midjourney, you have Sora, so many options. And don't forget, you also have Gemini, just plain Gemini for the images. And you have Nano Banana. Nano Banana is another one. In fact, I should have shown you Nano Banana. I know, why didn't I show you Nano Banana? Okay, let's Nano Banana is the latest from the world of Gemini. So if you haven't used it, I encourage you to do so. You go to aistudio.google.com. This is kind of cool, you know. Let me bring it to the big screen. So you put in a chat or you put in an existing image. So let's go to that image we had created a little while ago in Sora. I close it. Or let's just go over here. Okay, this one over here. So let's go to the images. Okay, like this one. That's a funny one. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this. I'm just going to do a screen grab just to save time. So let's say I get a screen grab of this guy, and then I go into Nano Banana. I can just paste it straight into Nano Banana like that. And then I can put a prompt. I could say, add a mini palm tree to the studio. Just like that. And you hit run, enter, and it will create the image with the palm tree as you have requested. As you can see, that little palm right there. You see that? See that? It's now put a little palm right there in the studio. If I say just anything you can imagine, anything you can imagine, you can ask it to keep making changes. You could say, add a record exec in a suit behind the DJ looking mad. You could prompt anything. I don't know if you've used Nano Banana. It's quite awesome, because I've actually started using it to correct images. Because you know what you would normally, there's the guy not looking very happy, looking very, very angry. He must be from one of the big three. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for today. I think you'll get a real huge amount of mileage just by using Nano Banana, Sora, and Midjourney. You can correct your image to get what you need, and then you can just sleep. So, Phil Fine, shout out to you. Thank you very much for the questions. Yes, there's so many, but I think these first three, I think they'll get you there. I'm trying to kill all the stuff I needed to do with one stone. All right, my friends, that's it. My 5 minutes is long over. I think I've gone to 27 minutes. All right, my friends, you take care. Talk to you soon. Au revoir.